Welcome back to Power Coach TV Wednesday Wisdom. I'm Power Coach Alishia, and I'm here to deliver you the wisdom. I hope that you are doing unbelievable, amazing, and fantastic today. And thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Power Coach TV. Thank you. Okay, I'll write it back. All right, so on vacation, when I was on my vacation for a month, I was chatting with a friend from high school. I hadn't seen her forever, and it was just great to talk to her and great to catch up. And as we were talking, she said something that I thought was phenomenal, and it was a quote that I immediately put right into my phone. And as I was going through of what we were going to talk about today on Power Coach TV, I realized that this is a fantastic topic because her quote leads right in to what you need to hear. She said that we manipulate ourselves into believing our own ideas. Think about that for a second. We manipulate ourselves into believing our own ideas. I want to take that a step further because I think it goes a little further than just believing our own ideas. I think we manipulate ourselves into believing our own bad ideas. I think there absolutely needs to be a word inserted in there because some of our ideas are great. $1 million ideas, makes people happy, makes you happy. So I don't want to say that we manipulate ourselves into believing all of our ideas and have that be a bad thing, but I want to say that we manipulate ourselves into believing our bad ideas. And I also want to add one more thing to that. And we talk ourselves out of believing our good ideas. So let's do it all together in the new quote. We manipulate ourselves into believing our bad ideas, and we talk ourselves out of our good ideas. So why do you think that happens? Why do you think the bad ideas, we force ourselves to believe it? And why do you think the good ideas, we force ourselves not to believe it or not to do it? Usually, when you believe a bad idea, it's easier to be comfortable with it. It's easier to sit well with it. It's a comfort zone sort of thing. A bad idea for some reason usually puts you in some sort of comfort place where you can convince yourself that that's where you need to be. And the good ideas usually take us out of our comfort zones. So you talk yourself into not believing it, right? So it takes you out of your comfort zone and you're like, screw that. It sucks because of this, and that. I ain't doing that crap, right? The bad idea, you're like, yeah, you should, because, yeah, that's going to work because, yeah, you need to do that because, and then all of a sudden, the bad idea becomes a great idea, and you implement it, and then it sucked, and you're like, oh my God, that was horrible, right? And sometimes, just sometimes, you can get yourself to manipulate yourself into doing the good ideas. And most of the time, when you manipulate yourself into doing the good ideas, it comes out great. Why do you continue to stop yourself? Why doesn't it happen more often? I bet you that you manipulate yourself into believing more bad ideas than you do good ideas. And that's because of fear. What I like to call false evidence appearing real. I'm sure you've seen that out there. I love the one that I've seen probably about a year ago, Face Everything and Rise. Seriously, if there's something that you want to do, you're thinking about doing, you're talking yourself out of, remember manipulating yourself from believing the good ideas, go for it. I always say the worst thing that can happen is you learn something new. See, the bad ideas, it makes you sick to your stomach. You think back and like, oh my gosh, what happens if I woulda, shoulda, coulda, right? Like I said before, you end up shitting all over yourself. And then you end up in this place that you're like, why did I do that? When you manipulate yourself into believing the bad ideas, it ends up in regret. When you manipulate yourself into believing the good ideas, you're like, I'm so glad I did that, usually. And if not, you're like, oh well, at least I learned something. I know for a fact that you would rather feel, oh well, at least I learned something, than, oh, I can't believe I did that, right? Because the I can't believe I did that makes you feel crappy. And the, oh well, at least I learned something is like, yeah, you can go about your day, life's okay, not a big deal. I want you to start believing and doing your good ideas, whatever they are. If you hear a good idea, implement it. Worst case scenario, it doesn't work, but you learn something along the way. This world is so full of people not taking action and then standing around and looking at other people who are going, I wish I could have that. I wish I could be like that. I wish I was that witch. I wish I did have that life. I don't know how they do it. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. I wish I had many hours in a day as she has. I wish I had as much energy as they have. I wish I could have more kids. I wish I, whatever, fill in the blank. You can just manipulate yourself into believing your good ideas. I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you. I want to know, what is a bad idea that you manipulate yourself into believing regularly? Because you probably have some ideas that you continually manipulate yourself into believing over and over and over again, and you're not getting yourself out of that rut. So I want to hear in the comments below this video, what is something that you continually manipulate yourself into believing? A bad idea. Let's chat about it. Let's figure this thing out. Let's move you on so you can start manipulating yourself into believing good ideas. If you haven't yet, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Check out my blog. Find me on Facebook. Let's connect. I want to be BFFs with you. All right. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Power Coach TV Wednesday Wisdom. Peak Power Coach Alishia.